Good morning, everybody. It's wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and you're very welcome. And this is one of my top 5 videos again. I'm going to be doing quite a few of these now. It's coming up to Christmas. One, I want to let you see the state of my collection, and two, I want to give people maybe options of knives that were out at the beginning of the year, and they tend to drift off YouTube, but it's just to refresh people's memories. There's one of these knives, and I can't even remember which one it is, was towards the end of last year. But it's a knife that I don't show a lot. So these are my high-end knives. I don't have a lot of high-end knives. I have one other one apart from the 5 that you're going to see, and I haven't brought it down to the caravan with it, which is the Medford Mini Marauder, which I love. As you know, it's a great work knife. I'm probably going to have to pass it on because it's too expensive to lie in my collection. I needed to move the channel on. So that's up for offer. Anybody who gives me a reasonable offer, and I mean reasonable, can probably take that away for, £100, £150 less than what it cost to buy over here in the UK. So let's move on from that. That's a sales pitch over. I'm going to start with the lower value. This is over £150 value, and I'm going to start with the lowest first and work up to my highest, and then I'll tell you which one is my knife of the year. Now, here we go. Here's the first one, and this really isn't a Paddy knife, but when drop sort of hit my radar, if you like, I seen so many knives, but I've seen an awful lot of knives that everybody else was buying. There was a few of these obviously have been on drop for a year now, at least, probably more. This is the Galvco Thrasher, named after a shark with a big black shark's eye. An unusual blade slate for me to have, but that belly swung it for me, and I thought, I'm going to go for this rather than the ones everybody else is going for, and I'm not disappointed I went for it, because this is a beautifully made knife. It's not a knife I can carry a lot over here. I can down the caravan, but it's nearly like an art knife, that's within my normal budget. I think they're about $190, but then I have to pay shipping and customs coming into the UK, so it adds a fair price, a fair my goodness, you're stumbling, Paddy. It adds a few quid to the price of it, so it's probably about £200 nearly by the time it gets here, and I've paid customs. So a beautiful knife for that, though. So well made, beautiful bronze coloured back. It's all titanium and S35 VN. Just an amazing knife with an action to die for a knife in that price range. It fires out. It's just stunning. That will come in at number 5, and if you haven't got it, they're still on drop, but $190. To me, it is really worth it. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife, and for a collection that sometimes I can be a bit bland, I suppose. This is just a shining example of what you can get for your dough. So we'll put that up there out of the way. And the next one I'm going to bring along has probably been one of the finds of this year. It's the Spidey Chef. Again, here's a blind. It's a titanium folding knife again. I remember a couple of years ago, I didn't have any. So this is not my norm. It's where I've gone to this year, and I'm happy I've gone to it. And they're all titanium knives that I'm going to show you today, but they're all completely different, whether it be color, shape, the knife blade shape, the knife handle shapes. They're just a really good. I think I've picked well for my high-end knives, because I'll not have a whole lot of them, but the ones that I've got I really like. This is probably my most heavily used. Well, nearly it's not now. It's actually been overtaken probably by another knife. This is a beautiful knife. This is a beautiful knife in hand to use. I use this in the kitchen. This is when I go in and I'm cooking by myself and chopping up veg and chopping up meat. This is a stunning knife. It's also a really good heavy work knife. It's well made. There's nothing in this knife that could turn you off it. It's so good. Look, you can get down and you can rock. Because of the shape of the handle, you can rock and cut. It is a kitchen knife for use. Now, Look, a kitchen knife costs an awful lot less than this does, but I just love this knife. I just think everything about it. This to me, I would have loved when I was doing bushcraft because I could use it for slicing wood, doing anything I want out in the bush, but also for the bush kitchen. This would have been a stunner. Um, but a really lovely knife, and I'm really pleased that's in my collection. Highly recommended. What am I going to go to next? The next one is Artisan. And it's the only, well, is it? I think it's the only artisan. It's definitely the only artisan that is in titanium M390. It is just a stunning, stunning knife. This is a Dylan Mallory design. It looks, I said this when I was doing the review, this is a mini Archeo, sorry, in titanium, in carbon fiber that is stunning. It is just a marbled carbon fiber, I suppose you would call that. The transitions, Artisan just made an amazing job of this. The transitions, the blade grind, the sharpness that it comes, it just beautiful, beautiful. And, you know, as a high end, is just over the 200 mark. Now, it looks like a small knife that you're going to pay that for, but you're paying for Dylan Mallory. My voice is away, not my voice. You see, I can't even get that right. My English is just gone. This is a great, easy pocket knife. It takes up no room. It's of a slim design, lovely backspacer, and with a little lanyard pocket here at the back to put your lanyard through. A real stabby knife, a real box opener. A beautiful, beautiful knife. Now, I actually need to oil this because I haven't used this for a while, to be honest. And now I've got it out for this when I was going through. It's just gorgeous. The power of that opening really gets me every time. A stunning little knife. Expensive little knife, but in hand, this looks like it shouldn't be comfortable. In hand, it is one of the most comfortable knives. It's just, now I have medium large hands. I don't know what it's like if you got anything else. I would say with small hands you'll be fine. Don't know about much larger, but this is a stunning knife that you could do work with. With M390, it's going to last you all day long. Beautiful knife. We'll set that there. That's number 3. The next one is one that I had wanted since I started in this game. Oh, I can't even do it. It's not just my mouth this morning. I have just taken the grease out of this and put lube oil in it, and I'm not used to it because it really, nice pivot oil I put in, it is now so easy to flick open, but you still have that feeling of just, oh, it's just supreme. It's the Chris Reeves. It's the Insingo. It is just a small Insingo, by the way, sorry. Again, this is a knife I can get all 4 fingers on, just, but with the lanyard that comes with the knife, it makes it completely secure in my hand, and an amazing EDC work knife. And this knife can work. I have carried and used this. This is my most used so far. There's one catching up on it, but this is my most used. I love it. This is my most used fidget knife. Now, Chris Reeves are not sort of renowned for fidget, but the joy I get out of this knife of just simply opening it and hearing that and hearing it close, I could sit and do that all day long, genuinely, and not get bored. It is amazing. I love it. Very simple knife, just 2 slabs of titanium, S35VN blade. You know, I think the simple thing with a Chris Reeves knife, you have to hold one in hand. You have to feel what it's like to even start to think what it's like to use, because I think this is just one of the best user knives. Never mind high end. It's just a best user knife. It is amazing for EDC, for an everyman EDC. The bigger one, yes, you could use for heavier tasks. You can see by this. This is just so well used. I absolutely love it. But this was a trade. It was my first high-end trade with Berg Knives over in the States. An absolutely lovely gentleman who gave me a great deal for a trade. And I am so glad. I love, love, love this knife. definitely number 2 for a reason. Now, the last knife is my dream show knife that is also one of the most practical show knives I've ever held. I haven't held a whole lot, but this is a Herman Knives. I got this from Polish Custom Knives. They sent this to me for review. It's about a £600 knife. It is just amazing. Full stop. There is no fault I can find with this knife other than the fact that it's a little bit slippy in hand. But let me tell you, I'm not going to take this out on a wet day and work on the muck. It is phenomenal. It just, you can do this. And that's what I'm saying. This, as a fidget knife, is taken over from my Chris Reeves. Excuse me. It's taken over from my Chris Reeves simply because of that noise and that retraction, which is absolutely stunning. It's just, Herman has produced a few knives now, and they're on the Polish Custom Knives website. Nick Shabazz, go to his channel. He has a couple of, I think he has 3 of his knives now, and they're all of this standard. They are just outstanding, outstanding. And his signature on the blade is one of the nicest. It's so well done. It's properly ingrained in there. It is just stunning and so blooming posh looking. I just love this knife. There's nothing I can find fault at all. And it makes up my top 5. I would say my posh knives, my top 5 posh knives of the year. Now, what I did say I was going to do was to pick my favourite for the year. And let me tell you, there's a couple of these knives that are in this top 5 because of their design, their looks. Turn that around so you can see it a bit nicer. Their design and their looks are just stunning, which is this and this. Their looks are just stunning, and that's why they made the collection. This one, for functionality, equals this one, but in 2 different spheres. These are both functionally absolutely beautiful. But this knife covers everything. Covers beauty, covers fit and finish, covers fidgeability. It covers just mind-blowing ergonomics. And the blade geometry is just to die for. To cut with this is to experience cutting as it should be. It's just that good. I'm sorry, it's that good. And it's £600. Look, if this was a well-known maker who made this knife, they would charge much more. And I know that's easy for me to sit here and say, I got mine and I got it for nothing. But I'm telling you, this knife is worth every penny that's being charged for it. And without doubt, it is my top pick for this year. And it's nothing to do with the price. It's to do with everything the knife does, looks like, and it's just a joy to have. So there you go. That was quick, down and dirty. My top 5 high-end knives over £150. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to ask any questions about any of these knives, please do down below. But this is just a show-off. For me, anything over £150 that I've got is a show-off knife. These are show-off knives for me. But this is a show-off knife for anybody. Anybody in this world. This is a show-off knife. I'm away. Thank you so much for your continued support and your continuing commenting. You're stars. And I did answer all the videos in the first 2 days of that last video that I promised. I'm such a good boy. Take care. Paddy's away for a wee cup of tea. Bye now.